Welcome. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, skin, and how Skin Genius, the skin DNA program, can give you some vital answers to not only staying young, but solving some skin problems. What we've been talking about the last few weeks with Skin Genius is that there are tons and tons of serums, lotions, and potions, but which one is right for you? Is it the vitamin C? Is it the vitamin E? Is it the growth serums and factors? What is it exactly that's good for your particular skin type? Well, we all know for any skin type, we should be using sunscreen, because sunscreen is one of the first and foremost vital things that we can do to protect from the radiation from the sun. As we've spoken before, in those sunscreens, they have to have one of two elements, titanium or zinc. If your sunscreen doesn't have titanium or zinc, then you will still have the capacity to not get red, but it will not block the radiation that A, ages us, and B, causes cancer. When we're talking about the skin and we're wanting to know, well, why am I wrinkling? Why is my skin getting creepy? Why is it saggy? Or I'm getting textural changes. And what we know is that there are 15 different gene categories that can cause us to age. Well, if we knew which of our gene categories cause us to age, then we can sort of halt that aging process. When we know which of our aging genes are strong, then we know we might not have to spend money on that gene category. So for example, when we've talked about the 5 categories over the last few weeks, the first one was glycation, which is sugar handling. The second was free radical damage. Another one was melanin and pigment production. And then today, category number 5, we're going to be talking about sensitivity and inflammation. So if sensitivity and inflammation were one of your weak points, and we would find that out by genetic testing, then we would support the sensitivity and inflammation. On the other hand, if we find out that that's one of your stronger suits, those genes in sequence 1Q, 6Q, if they were stronger, then we would take that expenditure for your skincare budget and spend it on something else. So when we talk about sensitivity and inflammation, our body has a natural inflammatory response, and the natural inflammatory response is very good. So when we have to get over the common cold, or if we fall and we get a scrape, the inflammation factors come and heal the wound. So those are good things. But if you've got an oversupply of inflammatory proteins, then they actually can work against you and your skin and cause the aging process to accelerate. The extra inflammation that can be produced can cause rash, redness, and irritations. And sometimes people think they have a rosacea, or that they have a rash from maybe something they ate or come into contact with, when in fact it's an oversupply of their inflammatory proteins. These sorts of people, if you've got a sensitivity and inflammation genetic weakness, you would be more prone to sensitivity from pollutions, perfumes, chemicals, household detergents, and other highly active products that you would quickly respond to. While inflammation is the skin's first line of defense, and the body's too, against any foreign substance like a bacteria or like a trauma, scrape or fall, and chemicals, this excess inflammation can cause early skin aging. So a wrinkle is not a wrinkle. So a wrinkle can be caused from not digesting sugars properly. That would be a glycation problem, another category. Or a wrinkle can be caused from overactive sensitivity and inflammation. When you've got too much inflammation, when the proteins just don't turn off, and that's one of your weaker genetic weaknesses. It's often subtle, but we can see just some sensitivity, redness, rashes, and the like. Lots of times we see dryness with this category, irregular tissue healing, and decreased cellular defense. So when the cells get attacked, they don't have the proper defense mechanisms to heal themselves in a proper manner. These sorts of skin types are very, very sensitive to the environment. to the smog, to the pollution, to the xenoestrogens, which are out in the environment. Xenoestrogens, which you may or may not remember, are caused from an excess, it sort of comes from plastics. It can come from foods like your fast food, processed foods. They've got a lot of xenoestrogens. The estrogens that are excreted from ladies who are on birth control pills, for example. Our waters are very, very much purified for high levels of chlorines and other contaminants. But our water, our drinking water, our tap water, our shower water is not cleared of birth control pill substances, estrogens, xenoestrogens, and the like. So therefore, we're getting all this in our bodies, whether it's through absorption from the skin or drinking. The BPA, the BPH, and all the other plastics exude some of these pollutants and estrogens and xenoestrogens into whatever we're pouring into that plastic cup or dish or even water bottle. The water bottles that we buy at the store, even though it may be a BPA-free plastic bottle, there are still other there are other BPs that I am quite sure we will find are just as dangerous as BPA. So my advice on that is to avoid the xenoestrogens, whether or not this is your category of weakness, would be to use stainless steel or glass, pure glassware. Never aluminum. The aluminum cans cause other problems. There's been some correlation to neurodegenerative disease, such as Alzheimer's, from aluminum. So I strictly avoid aluminum at all costs. But stainless steel or glass are much better alternatives. When we talk about what supplements, what foods and supplements would support somebody with a category 5 gene weakness, then we would start looking at the groups that have anti-inflammatory properties. So you may ask, well, how do I find out what my genetic weaknesses are? Well, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Skin Genius is a skin DNA swab test. You can either come to one of our locations in New Orleans or Mandeville, and we will swab the interior of your mouth with something that looks like a large cotton swab. Very simple, painless. Take the swab, we mail it off to our international DNA lab, and they send us back a report that's unique to you. Once we get that report, you have an hour consultation with me, Dr. Birkenstock, whether it's on phone, Skype, FaceTime, or face-to-face in one of our clinics, and I will explain what genetic weaknesses that you have in whichever category, and then I'll be able to custom provide to you what are the best foods for you with your genetic weaknesses, to complete an anti-aging for not only the skin but the body as well. What topicals to put on the face, what supplements to ingest, what treatments are good for your category skin gene weaknesses, and what lotions, potions, and serums would be air conditioning to your particular skin care type. So let's just say that category 5 was one of your genetic weaknesses. Well, what we would recommend to you, and as far as the foods we would recommend, would be the variety of fishes. Fish is great as an anti-inflammatory in terms of foods that we can eat. The herb thyme, Thyme. The herb thyme is a very good anti-inflammatory for the genetic weakness of super or hyperinflammation, which is not good for us. Vitamin C foods like our bell peppers, oranges, bananas, wonderful foods in the vitamin C category, lemons, limes, that will really benefit the inflammation if this is one of your category gene weaknesses. Our vitamin E foods like nuts, seeds, and of course fish are very good forms of vitamin E that you can naturally get from your foods that are going to decrease this overactive inflammation and sensitivity if this was one of your genetic weaknesses. Right now, we're offering our Skin Genius DNA swab test kit analysis, and custom report consultation with me. It's normally $9.99. We have it marked down to $4.99 during our Rejuvenation Revival. And for the next 1 hour, you can go to our website, skinbodyhealth.com/skin DNA. And there you will find where you can sign up for the Skin DNA, and it's marked down to $4.99 during our Rejuvenation Revival this summer. For the next hour, this evening, during this webinar and complete for the following hour, there's an additional $50 off, and it's Skin DNA 50. Just type in the code. So without further ado, we talked about the foods that would be beneficial if category 5, skin sensitivity and inflammation, were your genetic weakness. Some of the supplements that we would recommend, because as we all know, the foods today are not the foods of yesteryear. Your grandmother's cucumber was way more nutritious and full of vitamins and minerals than today's cucumbers, and that follows suit for every fruit and vegetable. Our soils are contaminated with xenoestrogens, pollutants, and such, and therefore what is grown in this soil is not quite as nutritious. So I do recommend supplementation. So for category 5, supplements that would be beneficial would be, for example, Annatto E. Annatto E is not a tocopherol E, and that's what's available in your normal pharmacies and vitamin stores. But Annatto E is from a very special plant in Brazil. It's a tocotrienol, very special form of vitamin E. Excellent for the skin, excellent for the heart, brings down cholesterol. It's an anti-aging, just a beneficial all-around vitamin. And specifically, Annatto E is great for an over-inflammatory process. CBD, some people choose to use that product. That is also an anti-inflammatory as well. And those would be the CBDs, of course, that don't have the active version, but a full spectrum hemp type of elixir. Another excellent supplement for people with a category 5 weakness would be Omega Pure. And this is fish oil with extremely high EPA and DHA. So a fish oil is not equivalent to a fish oil. You want to make sure you've got a GMP sealed branded form of your vitamins, and if it's a fish oil without high DHA and high EPA, you're really not getting any potency and no strength in your fish oil. In addition to that, grapeseed extract. Grapeseed extract is made from the resveratrol from the grapes. So it's very anti-inflammatory, and something I didn't mention before is your red grapes. Red grapes and red wine have resveratrol in them. This resveratrol is very anti-inflammatory and anti-aging. C Power, so your vitamin C, it's a powder, so you can put it in any beverage, any drink, and just very easily get it down that way. And that can enhance your fresh fruits and vegetables. Probiotics. So probiotics, you want live probiotics that are cold. Why do you want that? Well, if you go to buy dead worms to go catch fish, you're not going to catch very many fish. You need live earthworms. Your live probiotics have live good bacteria, good yeast, which reestablishes gut health. When gut health is established, it cuts down on inflammation. There's also prebiotics, and you can get a combination. We have as well. Prebiotics, probiotics combination. So you're getting the prebiotics inulin, which is a fertilizer for your probiotics, and all of that causes a very healthy gut. It eliminates leaky gut and helps rebuild your gut. There's the gut, meaning stomach, the gut, skin, brain axis, and it's a known scientific medical equation. And when the gut's healthy, the skin's healthy. When the skin's healthy, the brain's healthy, and it all interconnects. Last and not least, everybody should be on a great multivitamin, multi-mineral. Ours is called Vitality, because you're going to get across the board vitamins and minerals that may be missing from your diet that keep the body healthy and supported in time. So, without further ado, let's go on now to some topicals. Well, you often hear me talk about apple cider vinegar as something that is very anti-aging, cleansing to the body, will increase your pH, which will help you put you in a best form to lose weight, and it's also very it's great antioxidant. In addition to that, apple cider vinegar can be put on cotton balls or gauze and applied to the face. If sensitivity and inflammation is one of your genetic weaknesses, topical apple cider vinegar is a wonderful, wonderful tool to help your skin reduce the redness, skin irritation, and inflammation. Bioidentical growth factor has growth factors within it that calm down inflammation and improve sensitivity. So it's a wonderful product for this skin type of sensitivity and hyperinflammation to calm those things down and rejuvenate the cells. Squalene and E, topically, you're getting that vitamin E and squalene from the heart of the olive, which is excellent to calm down inflammation and deterioration from those pro-inflammation cells. Majestic grape is made from the red grape, and in it has resveratrol. So you're going to be putting the resveratrol directly on your face, which is going to have a wonderful antioxidant effect. Last but not least, for every skin type, I highly recommend our Voodoo DNA Cream. It's our star product. The Voodoo DNA Cream improves the telomeres, which rebuilds the skin cells and causes excellent repair. So if you're category 5 with high sensitivity and high inflammation, rash, redness, irritation, dry skin, breaks out very, very easily, these would be my topical recommendations for you. In terms of a custom program for category 5 inflammation, chemical peels, radiofrequency needling with vitamin infusion directly into the skin while that microneedling has the pores open are a wonderful tool to decrease that inflammation. Low-level broadband light, IPL. Broadband light is my favorite. Matter of fact, I just came back from a trip where I was studying with Dr. Patrick Bitter, the father of light, one of our internationally known dermatologists who's in Los Gatos, California. I always have the pleasure and I'm honored when I get a chance to go and visit and study with him. Blue light and LED light is very, very good as well for high sensitivity and inflammation because it's low levels of heat, so you're not stirring up with heat and over-inflammatory process. So, as we said, Skin Genius, a wonderful tool. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We swab your inner side of your cheek. We send your swab off to the DNA lab internationally. We get back a report and we customize a treatment plan for you of what foods will help your genetic skin weaknesses, what topicals will improve your genetic skin weaknesses in terms of serums, lotions, and potions, what supplements will be beneficial to you to fight that genetic weaknesses, and then what treatment program in terms of what I should do at the med spa or at my physician's office, because procedures are important and they're very anti-aging, but you need the right procedure for your particular skincare type. So again, go to skinbodyhealth.com/skindna. For the summer, our Skin DNA will be marked down, Skin DNA Genius test, from $9.99 to $4.99. If you order in the next hour, you can use the code SKINDNA50 and get an additional $50 off. I'll go ahead and open up the floor for questions now.
What should I look for in my sunscreens?
In your sunscreens, always want to look for titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, or both, a combination of zinc and titanium. That's number one and foremost. There's a lot of the octreonides and other forms, paras, pavas, in other sunscreens, and there's a million on the shelf, and they're actually not helpful, they're actually harmful. There's some studies going on that they may find out that it actually is going to be causing cancers because of the nanoparticles that are getting in through the skin. Another nice sun protectant is the fern. So the fern leaf Polypodium leucomotus comes in a capsule form. There's one brand called HelioCare. There's several others. And you can take these sun capsules. It is not something that you could do solely alone without also topical sunscreen. But it does give an additional SPF of about 3. And it's an antioxidant for the body and for the skin as well, from those horrible UVA, UVB radiations that come from the sun.
Is there any creams that you have that can instantly get rid of wrinkles on my skin topically, or is that something more like BBL that I would have to go through?
Yeah, so we have some, we do have some serums that can sort of moisturize and calm down the appearance of heavy wrinkles or fine wrinkles. If you want some sort of effect of a more permanent nature, then yes, you would do lasers or radiofrequency needling, series of BBL. We also have the Subnovi plasma pen, and the Subnovi it's the best thing we've seen secondary to surgery. It's absolutely, the plasma goes down and spreads, pulls back the tissue upon cooling, and it's given us phenomenal instant results.
How long is the downtime on the plasma pen?
Downtime can be anywhere from 4 to sometimes 14 days, depending on how much of an area that we do and how deep that we go. We can do lighter levels as well. Some skin types heal right away. Other skin types take a little bit longer. But with the Subnovi, it's more of a dot matrix, so it's looking like little dots, as opposed to a chemical peel or a CO2 laser where you're ooey and gooey and oozy for several weeks. It's not that much of a hassle, it's kind of a downtime.
How long does my DNA kit last me? Does my DNA ever change?
No, it's a great question. How often will you have to do the DNA test? Only once. Our DNA does not change. That's one thing about us that doesn't change. So once you have your report, you've got a plan for life to keep your skin beautiful, to anti-age the skin, and turn back some of the hands of time. Oh, another question. That's good. Apple cider vinegar, yes. So you can use it topically, as we said. If this is a genetic skincare weakness for you, you could use it anyway, but specifically if you've got a lot of sensitivity and inflammation. And also, yes, do a teaspoonful in water every day. Excellent for the body, excellent for the skin, and it will help to alkalinize, and it's very, very good for you.
Can I use any of these products if I'm currently on Accutane?
Some of the products, yes, you can use the products if you're on Accutane. We would pick and choose carefully, but we would not do any procedures until you were 6 months completed or finished with the Accutane. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was a pleasure talking to you about Category 5 skin and sensitivity and inflammation. Next week we'll be going over again Category 1, and we'll restart the series at that point. Again, our website, skinbodyhealth.com/skindna. Call now for the next hour, code SKINDNA50, and get an additional $50 off our already sale price for the Rejuvenation Revival. Our normal price is $9.99. For the summer, it'll be $4.97. For the next 1 hour, we're offering an additional $50 off. SKINDNA50 is the code. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to talking with you again. You also feel free to give us a call at our texting hotline, 561-568-0739. 561-568-0739. I'm Dr. Birkenstock, and it's been a pleasure talking with you.